What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am Justin, here with Meelz. What's up, Meelz?
It is freezing in the United States this week.
Uh-huh.
Maybe hell has indeed froze over. Maybe this is that.
Well, it's snowing in New Orleans. The winds are picking up again. Again, it's the apocalypse. The environment knows what's
Yeah.
going on in our world right now.
It's just
She's not
like,
happy.
all right, fuck it. Whatever.
Yeah.
These niggas don't care.
You know what? I welcome it. Come on.
I'm kind of in my space where I'm like, whatever happens these 4 years, I'm just hope that everyone that I love and everyone that I care about is okay. Because clearly I can't trust any of you niggas anymore.
Yeah, you motherfuckers sent us to die. So have
Yeah.
fun with what's going on here.
Yeah,
Uh
man. Listen. This whole week, how did you feel about the TikTok fiasco over the past weekend? Um,
I'm going to talk about this at length on a couple of different avenues, but
okay. Don't talk about it at length here then. Talk about it at I don't know,
it,
medium, whatever.
it's low level political theater, and y'all fell for it
Mm,
as y'all always do. So
mm.
listen,
Listen.
honestly, I don't even really like being on the bitch now that it's back.
Yeah,
I'm on it less now that like when he took it away, I was like, oh, okay, I'll find something else to do.
that's pretty much how I was like ready to wrap. I was like, all right, TikTok Sundays. I was kind of ready to wrap this shit up anyway. But then when it went away, I was like, oh, okay. Honestly, I was like, from all the news thing, I was like, all right, it'll be back by Tuesday. Like, I don't really, and if it's not, then whatever. But yeah, literally, just like, hey,
Yet another example of how motherfuckers have failed us in so many ways. And that's from every party, every constituent, they failed us. So fuck you guys.
yeah, for sure. Shout out to Kamala, who's just like, at the every comment, I'm like, bro, I'm sorry you had to be there, bro.
Yeah, she
Clearly, Michelle Obama has given up.
well
She is
shit,
just.
niggas should give up on the fucking Obamas. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I have thoughts,
Okay.
but I don't wanna reveal all of them. As I'm still mistasizing how I feel about everything.
Okay.
I'm getting more thoughtful about my words.
Good for you. You know,
Getting more
The-
thoughtful.
good for you. Good for you. Because people have not been getting thoughtful. Well, I don't know. I don't even want to get into this. This whole like journalism,
You
the
know,
back
see,
and forth on Twitter.
I'm not too tapped in. I recently started lightly returning to Twitter, lightly.
Right.
Um, but I'm not familiar with what's going on here.
So, what's going on Twitter? So, I also don't have all the knowledge, but I have more than you. So, I'll say what I know. So, the account Air Gold, who essentially
It's a child.
is a child. He's like 17 years old. Um, he once he revealed that to me, it all made sense, and I just stopped engaging with him just entirely because it's clearly a kid who wants attention who doesn't get it from someone else who's gotten actually quite a bit of attention on Twitter because he got all these followers essentially from like fake aggregating news or
I mean,
shopping.
generally being a dick rider, I think is like the biggest reason he got all those followers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like realistically, I feel like when we during kind of like old internet, um, when opinions were had, they were debated, but they were like rooted in something for the most part.
Mhm.
His opinions are just to stoke the fires of the internet, and they're pretty easy to stoke, especially wrestling Twitter.
Yeah, because
It's
he said, I mean, he's put like completely wrong, inaccurate like things on his page before, and will not delete it, and will not, you know what I mean, like
right
back
when we'll
down from.
argue you down, yeah. If you say that this is inaccurate, and it's like, well, I just got it from this, and that's essentially what the situation is. So he reported something that he got from a recording in one of the Wrestle Purists discords. So I guess Wrestle Purists has a Discord, and they do like these Discord chats where they talk about news and all this other stuff like that. Um, in the
Can't
community that they built.
you can't accept clout chasers into your circle. I think that's what I'll say right now. before we get any further. You can't accept clout chasers into your circles.
Absolutely. Well, so he's not even really part of the Discord, I'm from what I heard, but I guess someone sent him a clip of Ibu talking about how Swerve and Lashley's program is not continuing because of some sort of like differences. Um, and so he posted it or just reported it or whatever it is without any context. And then, they come in, it's like, that's not actually true. That's not what I said. Please add the full context. He's like, well, I got it from your thing. And it's like, well, stop, trying to, you're giving me aggregating content without adding full content. This is just kind of from what I did. It all spun off into this Twitter Spaces last night, um, where I guess Ergo goes on it because he's also in an issue with Sean Ross Sapp, and uh, Sean has he is for the most part, I think for the general year, has been against aggregation without credit. Um,
Right.
I think he's cool with aggregation. I think he gets aggregation in this current climate of what social media is, especially Twitter, when now there's a dollar sign attached to it. Um, but he does it with credit. Um, However, he's been I don't know if it's been like inaccurately reporting news that Sean Ross said or something, but I know it got to the nitty gritty of like them sharing DMs and going back and forth. Um,
Mhm.
Niggas is ergo DMing Sean and saying like, "Yo, I want to start like this clique of like where we just comment under each other's posts to help build things so everyone can get money." And I was just
A
like,
pyramid scheme on Twitter.
"Yeah," I was like, "Ew." I was like, "What a worm." Um, so yeah, it builds up to this Twitter Spaces where everyone is pretty much like cussing each other and all this other stuff like that. And I would just like to say, from my perspective,
Silly.
yeah, but also if like don't report news if you're not willing to stand on what you're reporting. And don't report news if you're not a person who should be reporting news. That's just really my thing. That's even things with aggregators, right? Like it even goes down to uh the like I think about the what was it, Cardi B and
Yeah,
Tasha
Tasha
K.
B, whatever. Tasha K,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Tasha what it's one of those, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I even go down to that where it reported inaccurate information and boom sued, boom got taken, boom now she's poor for the rest of her life. Like shit like that could happen. You never know, especially when you're reporting it about wrestlers, right? Um, where there's these people's livelihoods and something that is such as fickle as AEW, who seemingly everyone there reads everything on Twitter. And to be honest with you, WWE people do, they just don't react to it in any kind of way, nor do they funnel completely funnel their thoughts
Yeah,
into
because
whatever.
they have social media mandates there.
Yeah,
they're explicitly told not to do shit like that because there's examples of people that, misuse that policy and they get
usually get
fired.
terminated. Yeah.
Yeah, they get fired for it. So, AEW doesn't really have that, so they're way more online and way more reactionary. And some people
And it
Britt
starts from the
Baker.
top, to be honest with you. It starts from the top. Like there's
Yeah.
things you can see. It's clearly Tony Khan's mandate of like he wants to get this information out and he's using whatever news sources is. So the things that would necessarily be reprimanded in WWE is like essentially I don't see how you could reprimand in AEW if literally the CEO of the company is doing the exact same thing. So um my
I think
thing is like go ahead.
I think ultimately it comes down to the fact that I think everybody's kinda wrong here. I don't know if Air Gold's platform is enough to take away from Sean's, but I kinda get that he wants to, protect, his sources and things that he says and his sourcing, yeah, that's fine, but I think that, calling the kid a pussy, going at the kid, cursing him out, if he ain't gonna get it, he ain't gonna get it, bro.
I
Just
wouldn't
leave
have
the
done
fuck
it just
alone.
because yeah, this is the internet and like there's nothing you can do about it. But so that's kind of where I'm coming from. But I get the frustration from it. because I listened to part of it last night, and a lot of it was Air Gold, like, trying to put words in people's mouths, and essentially like, "Okay, okay, so we both agreed," and Sean's like, "I didn't agree to anything. What the fuck are you talking about?" And it's like, clearly,
The kid
this
seems like he's got, like, some issues,
yeah,
like
I
some
think so as well,
problems.
and I feel like you should be able to read that, but also you do wanna lay the example, but I think there's better ways to lay the example, but also I don't have to deal with this on a daily basis. So, um, shout out to us. Like, we could be journalists, but we're not.
I actually know how to be one. I was
Yeah.
journalism 2 weeks ago. I don't think
Yeah,
people recognize I was the press last 2 weeks ago, so
there you go, A show media. But we're just hosts of a podcast. So
yeah.
we talk about the news. We don't necessarily we give our thoughts on it. We say maybe what we would do in certain situations for things. We don't necessarily give like advice for anyone to do anything in particular because there's legal stuff that come with that. But like we can share what we would do in this situation or how we would react in these situations. And but I think everyone should stay in their lane. Let the journalists journal and the aggregators just literally, I don't know, just aggregate. The nigga changed himself to a parody account now, so it's like
Well, he is a parody,
It's a
for
parody
real.
account, but it's also like I think there's so much he's like, stay in your lane. I don't know what to say. Like, and they were like threatening. It was like, if you keep using my content without asking me, um, then I will have to do what I have to do. And I was like, y'all could sue over this fake news shit all you want.
It's
Or
I already
attempt to
feel
sue
like
over yeah, attempt to sue
I
over
already
news that's not actually credible a lot of the times.
Air Gold is in the same category as WWE Real One, uh, Mongo ebooks, and all the rest of them niggas, man. Just weirdos.
Yeah,
Fuck them.
absolutely.
Did you see this
Um,
this drama about fucking, Jeff Jarrett being upset that Cody was in the crowd on Raw 2 weeks ago?
no. What? Jeff Jarrett?
Yeah, he's got a fucking podcast on the Conrad Cinematic Universe. Conrad talking about, that
He
they
faked
didn't
doing it
they
with JBL now, and I thought about listening. I was like, "Oh shit, JBL's
don't
on
do that
now."
shit. Don't do that shit. Like it's them being upset with the way he was presented on the show, and they said, they would have never had The Rock in the crowd, and Cody's your top seller. So I think they're being a little too sensitive about like what exactly that was. Like that wasn't for y'all niggas. Like y'all still got like an old school way of thinking about it. Like we all knew what The Rock doing all that shit was for. It was for those suits in the front. Like it wasn't
Yeah,
for like technically SmackDown, like Raw isn't his show, but he had to be there because they had to show the new audience that that's who their champion was, right?
right.
Like ends up coming out anyway. You know what I'm saying? And getting physical anyway. It's not that big of a fucking deal. I feel like that was. I heard the clip the other day and I was like, you guys are fucking old and fucking whiny people.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just yeah. I don't even have an opinion on it. I'm
Yeah,
just
it's
like, huh?
stupid. Like I didn't think much of it other than I want The Rock to fuck off. I didn't think
Yeah,
much of that shit. And I thought it was dumb that like the dumbest thing was that The Rock was a good guy again. Not that he was in the
yeah.
crowd. Like that was the dumb part. It wasn't the way Cody was presented because he still got a pop. So like, what are you talking about? Like weird.
That's true.
Um, WWE announced last week that they have they've struck a deal with TNA to have their talent go on TNA shows and vice versa for the foreseeable
Mm.
future. And they kicked off that partnership in kind at TNA Genesis over the weekend. Sold out crowd at TNA Genesis. I did not watch
I
because
watched a little bit of it.
I don't cross lines. I'm not a habitual line crosser. So
I will just say for the evening I crossed the line, but don't expect me to like they're having their first live show in like a billion years on Thursday, but I still don't anticipate on watching, you know? Like God
ugh,
bless.
ugh. Yeah, but what did you feel about the integration of from what it looks like into the integration of NXT talent there.
To be honest, it was a very safe integration. Like there was nothing massive, massive. Shout to Tom Phillips. I guess he goes by Tom Halifan or whatever the hell he is now. His real name, sorry. Um I don't want to disrespect his real name.
Yeah.
He's always Tom Phillips to me. But he made them seem like they're all major deals. It's essentially like Fraxium has entered, has crossed the line. And I'm like, yeah, I figured that would happen. And I think Cora Jade was also there, but it was no one like really like, oh, but Femi has showed up and he's like staking his claim for the TNA championship or like someone else of the rather. It was very safe. It was very cool. Seems very natural. This is a time where I guess Impact is on the upswing. Um, so it's a great time to at least get involved and continue to build that part of the business out. Um, and overall, for the matches that I did see, I didn't see the first match, thank God. I didn't see the second match, also thank God. Third match, definitely thank God. Wow, I missed all the fucking people that I didn't want to see. Um,
You
Moose,
miss
Steve
Ash by Elegance.
Macklin, I missed Ash by Elegance, bro. Thank God. Um, I got in on Tessa and Jordan, um, which you could see Jordan had the boo boo face for having to lose her races
Yeah,
as
but
soon as
it
she came out.
ultimately greener pastures for her.
Yeah, no, for sure. One, it was a great match, unfortunately. Um, two, greener pastures. She's starting. It's been reported that she's starting with WWE this week. Is there anywhere you prefer to see Jordan Grace NXT main roster?
I mean, it's kinda gotta be NXT, right? Like, I think that the moving and shaking around the main roster, which we'll talk about a little bit later on the show reviews, is kinda making way for, like, Charlotte to come back, and, you know, a lot of people are moving out of the way for that. I don't know where Jordan fits in imminently on the main roster as they're trying to get their ducks in a row with a show that's on Friday that's 3 hours going back to 2, and the
Mhm.
show that we don't even know when it's gonna end every week. I don't know if she'll have time to do all of that. So it's got to be NXT. There's a couple of wins she has to get back that she you know that she has to do before she goes to the main roster.
I could see it maybe stand and deliver her, but or versus Roxanne or something. Um, but she's I look at something that's currently brewing on the SmackDown brand, and I'm like, oh yeah, Jordan could probably
The thing
handle
is,
that after they handle it.
Jordan comes in immediately beats Chelsea Green, who says no. I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like I think that's
Yeah,
just perfect. You know what I
I
mean?
agree. I was thinking more of the once they spin off from the Bianca Naomi thing, which I guess we'll talk about on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Um, then maybe that she can work her way her and an angle in there too. But I also do think like the US title is perfect. Like this is to me, this is perfect. Jordan having to go through Piper for the next couple months before she gets to Chelsea. I think that's perfect. So, I'm looking forward to Jordan. Jordan is a great wrestler. It's just seems like a great professional all around. Um and yeah, did business. She's out of TNA. Shout out to her. I'll tell you what surprised me watching the show. Mike Santana.
But he's in shape. He looks good.
Boy, he is over like fucking Rover over there.
Hmm.
Like Uso level, but like to the TNA, like the TNA version. You know what I'm saying? Like the gimbals of fucking Usos. Um,
He's Jack Muso.
yeah. But no, he was over like Rover. He looked in great shape. He had a seemingly great connection with the crowd. Had a great match with Josh Alexander, who also seemed to be quitting at the same
No,
time.
he legit quit at the end of the show
Yeah,
when I saw he said, "All right, I'm
yeah.
out."
He's a actually this wasn't a match. I actually quit. Um, so he's out. So I mean, that was also a great match. The Hardys versus the Rascals was a solid match. Masha Slamovich versus Rosemary, another solid match. Clockwork Orange House of Fun match. Remember those?
Yeah, she
Remember
brought back,
those?
she
The
brought
Punk
back,
and Raven.
yeah, she brought back, Abys's, what's the whole name? The bat.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Fatima?
yeah, I forgot
Janice. You brought back
about
Janice. I saw that part.
So and then Joe Hendry finally finishes the story against, Dolph Ziggler to
Which
win the
didn't
TNA.
main event, which was kinda crazy.
It did.
Like,
It closed the
it
show.
di oh, it did? Oh, okay. I thought Santana closed the show.
No, no,
Um,
no, no.
listen, Joe Hendry, verdict's out on that motherfucker in terms of just
I'm not impressed, but y'all niggas love him, so God
yeah,
bless y'all, but
you like it, I love it. But what are your thoughts on, like, where do you see this partnership going? Um, TNA has some good talent. There's some talent on TNA that I think should honestly just be in WWE at this point. But, like,
yeah.
what do you think, like, is the ceiling for this collaboration? Like, main roster appearances, NXT appearances? Like, this seems like this is something that they wanna go all out with, and it seems like Shawn Michaels and specifically Triple H are kinda, leading the show on this.
I think it's very flexible in terms of what they can do. I think they can do, especially if they wanna do like a TNA homecoming and bring some of the stars like a LA Knight or AJ Styles or something along those lines. People have stepped foot in TNA. I think now if they wanna hopefully use footage in any of their stuff, that's also possible. I think but realistically, I think because of the lack of house shows, even though NXT still kind of does like loops, um, it gives talent opportunities to work on television where they don't have those opportunities anymore.
Yeah.
Um, and it offers them to work in front of a different crowd than the crowd who knows them and sees them every week. So I don't know if you'll get like Julia in Impact.
We could. I mean,
We could. I
Julia
mean,
Julia
it's
and
there.
Masha Julia and Masha would be kinda dope.
I think it would, we could. I don't
Te
think it'll
oh, but
happen.
here's the elephant in the room. Does Tessa get invited to the WWE?
Nah,
Nah, right?
it's a heavy no for me. I think her and
Chelsea Green would be at the front door of the PC with mad bitches with baseball bats and chains in hand, ready to whoop her ass. They not playing
bruh,
with that girl, bruh.
change across the street since you want to be racist with your
Change
ass.
across the street is crazy.
Um, but
'Cause if you ever been to the PC, you'll know that it's nothing but a bunch of office buildings and shit across the street, like chiropractor
changing
offices.
changing Kinkos, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Damn,
Like,
bro, there ain't nothing around the PC, bro. Ain't even no food around that bitch. Like, you gotta come out the office park to go there. They could do that shit, bro. Shout out Cornell. Cornell, tell your ass there ain't nothing around that bitch.
but it's a like to me, um, I don't think we see Tessa. I don't think it's just bad I think with the climate of what they did with Hogan, it would be dumb
Oh,
to do it again with Tessa.
the "She's a Race" is gonna ring out, bro. There's
Yeah,
somebody knows what's going on in that PC. And if you introduce her at a specific place, depending on where it is, they're gonna know what she did, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
at that
yeah.
spot
I don't think
too.
it's worth it.
So,
Just let her. Maybe they could wrestle over there. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Um,
she might slip up and do an accidental CKO, like, whoops. Uh, what else happened in this week of wrestling?
how did you So we had Maximum Carnage this week in AEW.
I think I watched most of the show. I think I skipped out on the main event, but yeah,
Oh,
I
I was
watched
gonna
it
ask you
already.
about the main event. All right, fuck.
I
Um,
mean, I've seen what they did. I don't think that it was I don't think it was cool. Actually, no, I did watch the whole show with you guys last week. I watched the whole thing.
well, I didn't
Um,
watch the whole show, but I definitely did watch the main
I did
event.
watch the main.
Actually,
I
no, I
think
did watch it. I'm
we
bugging. You
did,
know
we
the
did.
thing
We
the
were
thing with Max is I can just turn the shit on
yeah,
and then skim through whatever the fuck I don't like.
and we don't exactly
And
like
usually
have
the show is over in about 8 minutes.
and we don't have challenge no more. So it's pretty much just like filling in time.
All Stars is
But
next week.
oh
I
yeah,
can
it
make some
is.
shit up this week. I can watch All Stars 3 on Wednesday this week.
You can watch that in a day. Fuck
Yeah,
around.
I'll fuck around, you know what I'm saying? I can still watch, finish whatever Deal or No Deal. I could do that.
Um,
Um,
but no, I think it's funny that a guy that looks like Moxley could choke out a dude that looks like Hobbs. I think that's
I
just hilarious
I didn't think
to
I was
me.
like, "Why is this the finish?"
I was like, "Bruh, if I saw this on the streets, I'd be like, yeah, racism definitely back,
Yeah, I was just
bruh."
like, "Bro, what? Why was that the finish?" That if you wanna make them, I don't know. I think just AEW just has they have the big things wrong, but also the little things is wrong in
Well,
abundance as well.
well, here's my thing, like, there was a lot of people saying, like, Hobbs is the guy, and there was a lot of people and, they do that shit, like, a week before a show, they'll be like, "What if he just beat him for the title?" I'm like, "Nah,
Yeah.
no, nah,
No,
no, that's not gonna happen."
nah. That's
I
some TNA
also
shit. That's some
yeah,
shit
I
TNA
also
would do.
also don't think that's a good idea. Even if you guys hate the Death Rider shit, like, you can't, like a cut bait for something like that when you don't have, like, a real follow-up, like, you would
Yeah.
be setting Hobbs up for failure if you did that. Um, it just doesn't
I
make
don't
sense
know,
for
they've
you
been cosplaying WCW for years, so I know it's coming eventually.
they've been trying exactly. They've been trying to, get on their WCW way, but they haven't yet. I won't give them like I won't say they're that stupid, okay? Like I think that if you put the title on Hobbs after that, he's still gonna be innately tied to that storyline regardless, and you guys
I
hate that
think
storyline. They're not cutting bait on that storyline anytime soon. I just say
I
that.
don't think they would do it to Moxley, is what I'll
No.
say. I think if it was another person, may like if somehow Jack Perry becomes world champion, you get away with it on a Jack Perry. A Moxley, you're probably not getting away with it, um, just based on his standing in the company. But shout out to that.
That's Meek
But
Mill.
yeah, so, I don't know. Um, but it was an interesting show, one of their higher rated shows, I guess, in quite some time, whatever that is. Um, yeah, I'm not fully sure about all the things they're doing on the show. The Kenny thing doesn't make any sense to me.
Kenny thing is
Um,
is funny because it shows again more of the issues with the company in that they don't know how to accurately and effectively reintroduce people to an audience.
yeah,
And I look at it and I've been I it you know shout out to our chat. I rewatched Cody's last promo.
we watch that like every 3 months.
Well, I haven't watched it in a year, but I did watch it a lot. But
We talked
like,
about it like a month ago, didn't we?
no.
Maybe you didn't watch it. We definitely talked about it like last month for sure.
But even still, it's like watching that promo has been like what 4 years since, 3 years since that
Yeah,
promo.
it's about to be 3.
Well, no, it passed on the 19th, but like Cody brought up those issues in that last promo too.
You
It's just like,
celebrating this shit like it's on Martin Luther King Day, you turn on Cody?
yeah, I'm like this nigga was spitting because the thing is, remember how confused we were at that shit? Like that shit was like more like look at everything that happened after it. You know what I mean? Like it was more it was more prophetic than people wanna admit, bro. Like, he talks about how they introduced the people, like, he was like, "Yeah, I don't wanna see the Bucks beating up on, beating up on the Undisputed Era again or Red Dragon again." Like, he was just like, "Bro, we don't know how to introduce these people to our audiences." And that's the thing that's happening with Kenny right now. It's like, why is Kenny having a fucking competitive match with Brian Cage, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is your top star. Like, it makes sense for Penta to have like competitive matches with some of their established stars because you got to see all of his moves. You got to get his shit off, and he's not exactly somebody that's squashing people. Kenny can squash people. Y'all let Kenny squash Sonny Kiss, but he can't squash this nigga.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what are you holding Brian Cage will have to like understand how business works, especially if you're not a top guy. But you can also, if they were great, they would ensure that he'd get it back one day. But they probably can't promise that at any point. But also, it's just it's just having a competitive match. You're doing the thing with Bill Osprey that's supposed to have a face off this week. I'm like, nigga, aren't they both faces? Why the fuck are they facing off? Like, it is what like they have to kind of like reestablish that they're like working on the same page kind of thing. It's just weird shit that it's just the ninth weird shit Will Osprey is a part of that's not anything near the top of the card.
Yeah,
This is it's just like the umpteen thing. I'm like, bruh, I get the to me, low key. I mean, this is might end up even worse. The Swerve program, I feel like should be Will Ospreay.
Swerve is lost, bro. Hey,
Swerve is
nah.
listen.
Listen,
uh,
chair back moment of the week. Leaning in my chair moment of the week, Meelz. Let's talk about
I
it.
don't know. I don't know why they let him hit him with a chair.
I was just gonna say
Cause it's just like, bro, what? Unless this is someone should beat his ass next week. Like, I don't know why they let him do that. I thought the promo was it
promo was ass. The promo was
yeah,
ass.
but he paused, he let the crowd just kind of do its thing, which I thought
But
was probably
the crowd wasn't booing, they were just saying Swerve's house. Like, that's all that it's like a Pavlovian response to anyone that does things wrong to Swerve. It's like Swerve isn't really over, his chant is over.
mm,
Like Jey Uso, like people go, well, Jey Uso, the yeet. I'm like, yeah, like, but the yeet transcends just Jey Uso. Like people will, if Jey Uso tells them niggas to shut up, they shut up. Right?
yeah,
Remember when we did that the other week? He said, "Yo, chill with the yeet for a second," and they stopped doing it. He's
yeah,
over. They can't
yeah.
like Ricochet can even like and again, I don't think a lot of this is his fault. It's the way that they have presented him in this company. I
Mhm.
think he should have still been a babyface. I'm sorry. Because I think that they're
You
making
know
him
they
look like a
can't.
big I know.
They
But
can't.
him
They
getting hit
can't.
by Nana and then Nana hitting the dance is crazy.
To me,
That's
that
like
was nuts.
that's like getting hit by fucking Sonya
That's I said
Deville.
that's like I said that's Heyman hitting Solo in the back and chilling. Like, that to me didn't make any sense. Like, that should not be I would have no sold it, but, I don't know what Ricochet doing, but in 3 weeks, which was very, like I was like, 3 weeks in Atlanta? Alright, we selling it from now, I guess. I guess they want people to come to Atlanta. They was like, "Alright, hopefully niggas will show up."
I
Um,
I I again, the
which I don't
scissors
even know
thing,
what are they running in Atlanta?
can we get the explanation on the scissors thing? Can we get the explanation? Like, I don't understand why Swerve even has to sneak up on this guy. Like, you're supposed to be the
Yo, they
baddest man in the world.
they broke up the Acclaimed. I was kind of upset with that.
Yeah, that's on you, bro. I don't know what
I
really to
like the
tell you
Acclaim.
about
I
that.
think the Acclaim was the only tag team that acted like an actual tag team. Like an actual like there was branding, there was camaraderie, it wasn't just moves, it was like we're telling a story and we have this kind of like arc of our own career. Granted, the niggas raps his ass, but they were the only team that I felt like legitimately were just like a team, like they're a homegrown team, and then they just broke them up because I guess one person is more hated than the other. So um, it is what it is. I don't know. There's just a lot of shit happened in AEW this week.
Yeah,
Um,
minimum carnage was oh, the Jeff Jarrett MJF thing.
I didn't even watch that shit. Once I heard what it was
Okay.
about, I was just like, "Oh, come on, man,
Okay. All right. Well, we don't
come
talk
on."
about it.
I listen. I
It's
heard
fine.
it. I heard it on War Report. So make sure you guys check out War Report because I definitely heard what was said. I was like, "Come on, man, why you stooping to his level? Why we got to do this anyway? Why is it like open mic night with MJF every month to be able to like do this like and he don't he don't take the like sometimes you got to take the L too,
Mhm.
but he
Mhm.
don't, so it is what it is. They also introduced Megan Bain this week.
Megan Bayang.
She showed up, no pomp, no circumstance, no nothing. The announcers ain't even know who she was.
She looked good though.
She looked good, but it's a shame where she at because
She looked good. I think I think that like the Megan Bain thing is again exactly what I said. They don't know how to introduce these people to a new audience
oh
because
they want to do Penta, huh? Oh
they
yeah,
would
well, we got something for them.
when she came
Yeah.
out, I swear you like the crowd didn't know whose music it was. They didn't know who she was for real. She walked out expecting niggas to know who she was, and
And
nobody
it's
knew who
always
she
worse when
was.
there's like only like 1,500 niggas in the crowd.
Yeah, they was like, who's that?" Oh, and
Yeah.
somebody probably looked behind him in the crowd. You know, there's always that one nigga that looked behind him and say, "Oh, that's Megan Bain. She was in Stardom." And did this."
And she heard it. I know she heard it because that shit wasn't. This shit's filmed in front of a live studio
Oh,
audience, nigga.
I would have been like, "Damn, bro." Like, yeah,
I know we're joking, like we told them the downsides, but it's still funny. I don't give a fuck.
at what point, right? is like making mad money, but like small ass arenas, even like that's crazy.
You gotta
Like,
like my thing is, I guess what the you gotta ignore a lot personally. Because if business is booming and you eating, you on top of the world. But if business is not booming, but you still like got bread, you just kind of gotta like, I'm good at least. Like it's you know what I'm saying? Like I'm paid. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like uh I wasn't on the show this week, but like my Tesla comes in the mail tomorrow. So, you
yeah,
know,
Cesaro love his Tesla, bro.
he might have got the what's that new box shit? The shit that Miz got now?
Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Miz don't got no Cybertruck, nigga. He got a
N-
Prius.
no, you
Fuck
didn't see it
up,
on
man.
his Instagram. He customized his Cybertruck. See, y'all be sleeping on the Miz, bro.
Customize. No, no. He sleeps in a box. I don't sleep in no damn.
He customized his Cybertruck. He said he posted it 14 hours ago. He says, "Thank you, business who doesn't pay for anything, for this awesome custom work on our Cybertruck." And he got rims on the bitch, and he got his wife in it, and he got, he's sitting on 22s in a Cybertruck. Come on,
This
man,
this
stop.
is this is carrying Cybertruck, nigga. What you talking about? It's carrying Cybertruck. This nigga riding somebody else's whip, bruh. This shit only got 300 likes. What you talking about, man? Hey, Miz
Chill,
ain't moving,
stop,
man.
stop,
Miz ain't moving, bro. Come on, dog. Get out of
stop.
here.
Come on,
Get
man.
out of
Come
here,
on.
bro. This ain't even. This is not his
the
Cybertruck,
first
bro.
comment says the first comment says, "How can two good-looking people buy such an ugly vehicle?"
Like, come on, man. Get that shit out of here, man. That's not his fire truck, man, or his Cybertruck, bro. He really need to figure out what's gonna happen with this house that he's still living in. They coming to get that shit. Get out that
Niggas
house,
is
man. I'm telling you.
flaming the Cybertruck in the comments.
No, here's
I
the
didn't read.
thing. The Cybertruck is like one of the most hated cars. Like, and again, I like out here, I hate driving by them because they take up so much fucking space on,
I
especially on the
bet, yeah.
freeway, bro. Somebody, and I think it was in New York, has resorted to putting a sticky note that says "dork" on anytime they see a Cybertruck, and they put it on their window. I think I might start doing that. I think I want to start doing that.
I can see it. The Cybertruck is a very um obnoxious ass car.
It's fucking
So
stupid. It's again, I got a small penis car, and again, I mean, we already know Miz not
come on, man,
exactly
stop,
packing. You
chill
know what I'm
out. It's
saying?
a gimmick. It's a gimmick. We were just playing
How you know
around.
it's
We
a
making
gimmick, bro?
television. It's a television. It's
He
a
called you
television
and said,
show.
"Miz." He called you and said, "Meals my meat." Crazy. That's how you know.
He's like, yo, I just play a character on TV. You know what I'm saying? That's what he told me.
Jesus Christ! Listen, there's no fucking way that Cybertruck belongs to, and if so, he leasing that bitch. He don't own that shit.
Yeah. I mean, he might. I don't know. I
Miz
don't
don't
know.
own nothing. He don't even own the house he's in, bro.
Relax,
What you talking
relax.
about?
Uh,
Saturday night's main event is this weekend. The second one in a month.
how do you feel about it?
Well, now that we know what these shows largely are, I won't be going out of my way to watch them every time every time they do them. Now that we know what they are, I won't be going on my way to watch them all the time. 'Cause and from the looks of this, there was very small, like very little hype for this one. This seems to
It
me
was
like
like
it's
last week. There was like, oh yeah, Saturday night's main event. We got some shit going on too.
honestly, the biggest match from this is like the Rhea Ripley match that got announced on Monday. Like that one feels like it's like spectacle because they do have
Mhm.
great matches together.
Yeah,
Um, but I think a lot of this is like we have to put like it's WWE saying we have to fulfill a obligation. We have to fulfill an obligation. Like I really would rather be talking about Royal Rumble, but like obviously this is happening. But we got Gunther versus Jey Uso, Braun Breaker versus Sheamus, Braun Strowman versus Jake Fatu, Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax, and we have an appearance from Shawn Michaels, who will be uh, doing the contract signing for Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. I'm wondering what this specific contract thing is, or should we even be worrying about what Nick Aldis was saying on SmackDown? He keeps talking about an addendum or something like that to it. I'm wondering if that is to replace the title, if I had to think of what it was, or they get to choose what title they wanna hold, I would
Yeah,
think.
it might be one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it looks like it could be a fun event, but yeah, they just be. I mean, they just be breezy with it. It's a it's a show that's just matches. I don't know if they haven't announced like Jesse Ventura will also be like. I haven't
Oh,
heard
he's gonna
shit
be
about
there.
Jesse.
He's gonna
He
be there.
is
Yeah, I think it's in his deal that he's gonna be at all of them. But he's gonna be in
okay.
that in the, in the position of, like, like, hosting the show, quote, unquote, and then, like, doing, like, little color on the side.
Master of
I did
ceremonies.
I did not enjoy him last he was on the show, so that's why I think I'm gonna
Oh
skip
man,
out on him
listen, you don't
forever.
want to. This is the worst week to get Jesse on the on the horn.
It really is but I mean, I don't even know where he lean, but he need to chill, whatever he do. Watch what you say, nigga. Watch yourself.
He- Cody looks like one of them.
Oh, no. No, no, nope. Nope, 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 nope.
I seen him in Washington this week.
Was he there?
um, no,
Oh,
he wasn't.
Jericho probably
Like,
was.
listen, man. Listen, man. Um, let's talk about but Saturday night's main event is definitely this Saturday, so we'll talk about it next week, and then we'll do predictions for the Royal Rumble. Also, Royal Rumble pool will be next week.
Yes.
We'll do the standard, of course, Royal Rumble pool. We'll also be doing, a few other giveaways for our patrons. Um, then also next week we will have the Retro Diaries, the Royal Rumble Retro Diaries, where we're going over Royal Rumble 2008. I started to watch it. I saw Mike Adamle, and I immediately started laughing.
Sick.
So,
I saw that and I said, "I hate you guys doing this to me."
so it is what it is. Another bit of AEW news just came out um yesterday. Britt Baker.
Yeah, Britt
We've
Baker.
been asking where Britt Baker at, but we asking in jest because we low key like
I don't wanna know where she at. Like, like, that's the whole thing is that I don't wanna know where she at.
but like we know, you know,
Mhm.
like people are asking questions. Where's Britt Baker? Britt Baker has been rumored to have, you know, she isn't well liked. Isn't well, I don't say one like, but like they reported that one person said they would be fine if she never came back. I was like, what a hater. Uh
That's crazy. But the thing is, think about how much you had to have pissed people off for the niggas to be like, "I don't want you back. I do not think I want this person back." And if you just look at the history of a Britt Baker, she was announced to be like that. Like, remember there was like the women are paid like the men. The
yeah.
women are paid like the men. This
She
is
was one. She
proof.
was the first. She was one of the first signings.
Yeah, or the first signing was like, yeah, the women are paid like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
men.
I was like, "You
Look,
sure?" And then I was like,
insurance,
"Who the fuck is that?" Yeah, I was just like, "Britt
healthcare.
Baker, who's that?"
And then
Yeah,
she
yeah.
she was given everything. I think what happens at AEW is that, like, because they don't have, and again, this is more of a kind of support for like a brand split than anything, is that like people
Hmm.
feel
Hmm.
fresh when they move to a different place. Things
Yeah,
feel fresh, largely, not all the time. Like I feel like wherever Charlotte goes, like she's also in the Britt Baker um category for me because she's wrestled pretty much everybody. Like what would make a Charlotte run for me today exciting is if she was not gonna wrestle any of the four horsewomen or like the damage control sector that she's already fought millions of times before. Like she's had hundreds of matches with these people. She needs to be
she would
facing
have to
like,
not wrestle. She would not have to wrestle for the championship for me to be excited.
yes, yeah, because ultimately we've seen it all. And I think that's what's going on with Britt Baker. And I think that's where a lot of the frustration is coming from, is because we've seen it all. When you did something new, when she did something new, it ended up being like the Sasha match, and that was not good. Like it was terrible.
Do you? What would you do? Do you feel like she needs a rehabilitation of her character on screen, or do you feel like this is solely an off-screen thing? Well, I don't really trust AEW to do rehabilitation
Yeah,
of
that,
main
that
characters.
that's what I was gonna say. A rehabilitation of her character would be her leaning into all the rumors
Yeah,
and
that's
as
exactly.
because they don't like AEW. creative doesn't like react to it in a interesting meta way. They go way too meta into a point where it seems like they're mad at people for saying these things.
Yeah.
Like you look at the Bucks shit when they what they were doing, they were responding to the haters. It's like, no,
Even the
like we're not.
Ricochet shit is just the same thing.
Yeah,
It's just
it's like
leaning more into like the hate that he got online from making his move.
no, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see a. I think people don't want to see a heightened up version of what people say about you in dirt sheets. We want to see a character that
Yeah,
actually
we want
plays
to
up to
suspend
their.
disbelief to a little bit. We want to get enthralled within the character itself. And I think Br- Britt Baker has been, I don't know if she's been much of a character, more as like an avatar for like white women. Um
Yeah.
so I don't know if she's been like a character. Um but it feels like there needs to be something more substance she's going to be doing. Now, I don't see her leaving AEW anytime soon, as much as like it doesn't look great for her right now. Um, she would have to be off TV for a very, very long time for me. I mean, she has been off TV for a long time, Loki. But then
Relative to everyone there with no injury, she's been gone for a very long time.
she was in there was a whole casino battle royal with people on the roster, and she just wasn't there. Which would have been a great spot to introduce her and possibly spin off to another feud, and she just wasn't there. I think she just I'm on the minority of saying for the women's division, she's valuable in a way because most women on that roster can't speak on the mic like she can.
And they don't have character.
Even right, right. Even the one who's paid the most got completely bodied by Britt Baker on the mic.
Mhm.
So I think she brings that to a level where you can introduce something major in front of people because you have the trust of her in front of people to be able to do that.
But look at
Um,
look at what's it's been replaced by, like, a largely, in my opinion, like, childish, foolish storyline with Tony Storm and Mariah May, which, like, we're back around to that again, and it's worse because we gotta act like this
Pay-per-views next
animation
month.
storyline. Yeah, like, we gotta act like this story is good, but it's like, Britt kinda did bring I hate to even do this.
I'm telling listen,
She
you
she
can't like it is, it's true.
she brought character to the and whether you hated her or liked her, like, you got a response from
And
her.
even a bit, yeah, and a presence to the show that most women on that roster do not bring. Like just period flat, point blank. Like a lot of women on that roster don't bring any presence, and and it's not completely their own fault. It's partly their fault. But it's also part of like the show and the people who are running the show. People talk about, I mean, we had this conversation 2 weeks ago. People were like, oh my god, like Willow and Chris are just the two biggest baby faces on the roster, so how could they not be? And I'm like, bro, no, they're not.
No, they're not. What are their characters?
Yeah.
What are their characters?
It
Like,
they're not.
Chris went from, like, badass heel to,
She
"I'm
lost
gonna
a
try
month
my
ago, and what the fuck she done?
I'm gonna try my best to win" character. Like, everyone in that company is, "I'm gonna try my best to win." Like, everybody
Yeah.
in that shit is, "I'm gonna try my best to win." Like, I think if Brit is on the mend with them, I hope that for the women's sake that they can figure that part out. But, like, again, Meelz on the other end of it, there's been so many burned bridges between her and everyone else there to a point where, like, what if it's nobody wants to work with her, Meelz? Like, that is also that could be an
Tessa
accurate thing.
Blanchard has a job, nigga. It
I know
can't
it's
be
not as
that ba
bad as
it can't be as that bad. It can't
yeah.
be that bad where people are still Jordan Grace, who's starkly against it, had to put on her big panties. That was a terrible thing. But put on
Jesus
it
Christ.
and say, "I have to do business." It cannot be as bad as Tessa Blanchard, no
No,
matter
it's
what.
not. I agree that it's not, but, like, we also not this women's business.
Yeah,
Like,
this is true.
ultimately,
This is true.
it's
You know what?
women's
You're right.
business, and
You're right. You're right.
if it's that serious that, like, where no one wants to work with her, like, that's cool because, like, Jamie Hayter and that would be a cool storyline. It doesn't seem like they're gonna go that way with her. Um, Mercedes, that's over with. Doesn't seem like it's gonna be with her. Tony Storm, like they've kept her away from so many people that you got to kind of at least question if these people actually want to work with her at all. Um, and I'd say that if she can't find anybody to work with, you know, on the women's side, and she's not going to be a manager, she's not going to do anything like that, then at that point, it's like, where do you at what point do you stop, or what point do you say, okay, there's a discontent here. Maybe you need to take a break. Maybe we need to let you go and find something else. Maybe that's what it is, because maybe there's another place that would benefit from her. Maybe TNA might be a good place for her. I don't know if they're going to pay her as much, but like, there could be other places for her to go.
Well, you know who else they said was very hard to work with? Who also has recently exited?
Oh,
One
Aleister Black.
one Aleister Black.
Mhm.
So so it was reported this week that, well, it was reported like last week, but I think the Observer got its fucking hands on it. Essentially, it seems like it's over for Aleister Black in AEW, and he's likely going to be WWE bound at some point in the near future. Um, but the story they've been running with is that he's been hard to work with. He's been difficult. Doesn't really like losing. Um, doesn't really like, just difficult to kind of plan, and that's really why he's been largely off of television, and why this is probably for the best. What have you made of all these rumors, and kind of like where we expect Aleister Black to be moving in the future? I like
It
that we're
really
calling him Alistair now. It's crazy. We've
it
just
feel well,
accepted.
I never stopped. But it does feel as though when people leave AEW, there's a stigma. There's like and it happens both ways. Like I feel like when people leave WWE, it's like, oh, you never were a star. Oh, you never were this, you never were that. But AEW, it's like it feels like like a longer tale of what I could only say as a smear campaign. It happened to Jade. Jade was, you're never good.
Yeah.
Your ass. You're gonna go to NXT. That's one. It happens. It's happening to Penta as we speak. That whole report on everything running long.
Oh my god.
What came of it? Because he went long again this week. Like, what came from it ultimately, before people recognize that, like, they think the world of this guy. And now we got it with Aleister Black, or Malachi Black there. Listen, if I'm him, like I said, I think I said it a week ago, I don't want to fucking lose to these motherfuckers either. I'm not losing the fucking Marco stunt. I'm not losing the motherfucking Orange Cassidy, nigga. I'm not doing none of that shit. No, I'm not
But he
doing it.
also, I think he lost like his last match. I think he lost quite a couple of his last matches, to be honest with you.
I think
He
the
lost
last
to
match
Edge.
that was the last match we saw him in, like that trios match or some shit. Like
I think
it was at a pay per view.
did he lose to Adam Cole?
He never wrestled Adam Cole, right?
No, he did. We were talking, that's where Adam Cole came back and he was like skinny as hell like a couple weeks ago. And we were like, God
AEW
damn, that nigga's skinny.
can Alec face in a
And I
singles
think he
match.
kicked
Oh
out
yeah,
of
it did. It did. November 6th, 2024. I didn't
yeah, and
see
he
that, but
beat him there, you know?
Black. Oh yeah, he did. He rejected the handshake and he hugged him, and that's what people. Yeah, I did watch that. Yeah, bro, I completely forgot that happened. But yeah, like,
Listen, man, it's Adam Cole. The Adam Cole universe is just different now, bro. That shit is like
the Adam Cole universe. Ain't no
that shit is like
universe,
four
bitch.
kids now on the four kids TV, bro. That shit's on
Have they
Yu-Gi-Oh!
cooled?
And
Have they cooled him down?
oh, they've absolutely cooled him down. What they did on Collision to me was, I was like, "What?"
Like he was like a big like deal, and now he's like not.
Yeah, like he Undisputed Era was a big deal, and now they're just not. They're together, but they're absolutely moving like three solo people, which is weird. It's not weird, but because they are, but like they're moving like that. So on Collision this last week, Daniel Garcia saves them. First of all, they all got beat up by Shane Taylor. Just this huge black man just walloped all of them. Then Daniel Garcia comes out and saves them. And Daniel Garcia stand in the ring, and all three of them are looking at Daniel Garcia's title. I was like, "What is going on here?"
Wait, so they don't fuck with each other? Like I'm confused.
No, they do, but they all want the TNT title.
That alright,
I was
I
like,
guess,
"What?"
man.
I was like, "What? Come on now." I was like, "Just give him the trios belt. Have him go up against, Claudio
Who?
and, Pac and the Nerd, and
The
just have
nerd.
him compete for the
Who, Yuta?
trios."
You talking about
Yeah,
Yuta?
Wheeler Yuta. It might be air goals. You never know, nigga.
Oh my god. Bro, Eric gonna sound like Terrance and Phillip, bruh.
Yo, the Canadianness was I was like, "Yo, his head is flapping." Um, it just crazy. It is what it is, but, they always gonna do this to Aleister. Aleister gonna come back, he gonna have the fire entrance, he gonna show up in
What
the
the
next 2 months and bada bing, bada boom.
the idea that he's hard to work with, like, okay, cool, like, you know, if that was the case, what creatively, what were we seeing where that was happening? Like, he lost the edge, what was it, like, twice? Did he lose the edge, or was it one time? Was it just in that match? I
It
don't
might have been
remember.
just that one time, I don't remember. It's not like he faced Edge that many times anyway.
Also, this coming out now?
Yeah.
When he about to leave? It sounds like y'all trying to make sure he get a lesser deal, which I don't think is gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. It's not like he's with them for the first time ever. They know Alistair. They like Alistair.
Yeah, it seemed like he was their guy for a very long time. So like I'm not sure what purpose it is for them to actually put that out in the atmosphere. I think
Yeah.
he potentially could be a really top guy. And we had this conversation last week. Like he was legitimately one of the most winningest person like talent in the company at that time. They just didn't have a direction for him. If he has a direction, I could see this going very far. A lot further than and again, a lot further than I see the Y6 going because they've completely disappeared, and it feels
Yeah.
like like the interest in them has completely gone away.
No, you're right. You're right.
And if Alistair is popping back up, I see their time going lower and lower and lower and lower and lower every single fucking week until that happens.
We shall see. Um,
And they're on SmackDown now, which I thought. Did you see what Karrion said?
no. But did he say it
Uh,
on SmackDown?
no, it was on Netflix. It was on
Oh,
Raw. He was just like, "Yeah, I'm the only guy who beat Uncle Howdy, and now they're gone. So whatever." He literally just said, "Fuck them." He said, "I'm the only guy who pinned Uncle Howdy."
hey
So
man,
fucking
you ain't wrong. You are not
fucking
wrong.
moving them in the middle of a storyline is nuts. But it shows me, like, again, if you not,
Netflix was like, I don't know about this shit, bro.
it doesn't feel H, man. It does not feel H. They don't feel
Mm-mm.
H to me. They don't
They
feel
might.
H to me.
They sure don't. Is there anything that happened on the show this week that would be? No, not really. Nothing really happened on the show that would be worth to talk about on free. Um, so I suggest y'all, if you want to hear more, especially if you want to hear our retro diaries, our Rumble retro diaries, pay to five is there. It's going for a good cause this month. You got a ton of content. You can go back to old retro diaries. You can go back to old X8 diaries, invasion diaries. You can go back to old spot callers. You can go back to all the old content we have here. Full episodes of the A Show. Full episodes of Rewriters Room. Full episodes of the War Report. Patreon, man. It's going for a good cause this month. So if you got it, um, drop it. Um, what
Tap in.
else? Yeah, that might be it. That might be it for this week.
All right, y'all. Thank you for listening to the show this week. We'll see you next week with the Royal Rumble pool, as well as Royal Rumble predictions. It's a free show, so everyone gets all of that, and you get a chance to enter the Royal Rumble pool. And of course, the big prize of that is if anyone wins the Royal Rumble pool, they are automatically included into our schedule to be a guest host on the show this year. Make sure you cash that in. We'll try to make sure we make that happen sooner than we than we usually do.
Yeah,
But
yeah, but sometimes things be working too. So it's like,
yeah, come on, man. Just get that job shit. Get
take
that
off
job shit
work,
out of
bro.
here.
It's the A show.
Come on, man. You ain't Diddy. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you guys for listening. We'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace.